I've always equated feelings with getting caught. They both get in the way of my money. Unfortunately, not everyone is as committed to their work as I am. An old associate of mine, Basso the boxman, wants to marry Lady Rumford's chambermaid, Genevieve, and live happily ever after. Guess prison life spoiled his taste for thievery. Too bad for Basso that Lady Rumford has other plans. Marriage would void Genevieve's indentured service contract, so Rumford is keeping her confined in the estate with the rest of her worldly possessions. Basso has asked for my assistance on getting her out, since infiltration is my specialty. I make it a policy never to take a job so sentimental, but the Rumford Manor could be a lucrative opportunity for a man like me. It would also mean that Basso would owe me a favor, and in this line of work you can never have too many of those. I'll sneak in after dark and clear a path for Basso so he can rescue his damsel in distress. Along the way, I'll pick up a few souvenirs for the local pawn shops. That should make all this aggravation worthwhile. Otherwise, I'll make Basso wish he was still rotting in Crag's Cleft. This proves it. Going legit is more trouble than it's worth.
Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. This time I'll be playing Thief 2 on Expert. The situation is sort of similar as with the first game, so I did play it once upon a time and finished it, but it was a long time ago and on normal difficulty. And in the Thief games, changing the difficulty actually changes the objectives quite a lot, so expect a lot of failing and whatever, like in the first game, although maybe a little less, because I think I've gotten used to the game a little by now.
I sprung the lock on the side door for you, Garrett. It's the only good way in.
Still, it's like interesting to me that those things Garrett was talking about, you know, taking stuff from the mansion and whatever, it all seemed almost like an excuse, not to sound sentimental, for helping his friend. I think Garrett does have a soft spot of sorts, but he tries to deny it because it doesn't jive with his, you know, master thief personality. Now, Basso here said he opened a side door for you, but it's actually not the only way in, although it's the preferred one, because you actually can jump over the gate here. Wait. Yeah, right. And if you want, you can actually go through the main gate. It's a little bit problematic, what with the two guards over here and a quite well lit area, but it can be done. Although I will not try it because, knowing my luck, I'd most likely screw it, and that would be it, you know, and just more failing.
Good thing the butler's out for the night. He left his lights on.
No, I think this game is darker than the previous one. Like as you can see, there's I can see very much nothing in this darkened corner over here.
Just don't hear them no more. I understand. 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 Just don't hear them no more. I under Damn torches. Always sputtering out.
Well, don't just make tap over it. Light it up.
Now, one would think you could maybe get the electrics disabled
My tinderbox.
by visiting the
Why don't
control
you
room
do
here,
it?
but I don't think it actually can be done. Although this level is like probably a little more difficult than the Buffered's Manor from the first game, but just because of the quite high requirement of loot, like you pretty much have to find nearly all of the things in the level, and some of them are pretty well hidden. Okay. Now, one of the new additions in Thief 2 is the presence of secrets, by which I mean the secrets that are actually acknowledged by the game itself. They tell you that you found a secret and there is a number of them on each level. There is no like additional reward for finding them, but most of them are sort of a reward in their own right. For example, here we found a coin purse, a healing potion, and a flash bomb, so it was surely worth it to look for the secret. And you know, it's always it's always rewarding to find those little hidden things.
I'll turn you up soon enough.
Okay, that was quite early for being detected like that. It never happened this way for me before.
Hey! Hold it right there!
But I guess this does continue the... Yeah, and of course I didn't save. This does continue the tradition of me failing miserably.
Sprung the lock on the side door for you, Garrett. It's the only good way in.
Good thing the butler's out for the night. He left his lights on.
Let me test if the quick save is done properly this time. Okay, it seems to work alright.
Who's making that noise? Damn torches. Always sputtering out.
Well, don't just make tap over it. Light it up.
I lost my tinderbox. Oh, why don't you do it?
I ain't the one that's complaining, am I now?
Huh.
Okay. Oh, it's curious that where was it? to have lost it. Usually I
We've got him now!
wait, that was really weird. It's not a great start to the not a great start to the game, but I guess that's as per usual by now for me. They've never detected me in this place from so far away. Managed to sort it out. At least for a moment. Now another new addition is that in the Thief 2 the map actually highlights the areas in which you've been, which is really helpful without fully sacrificing the idea of, you know, not showing your position exactly on the map. There are two guards up ahead, but only one of them is problematic, which is this one on the right here, because you can't really sneak up on him that easily, but they can actually bypass him by where did he go? No, he's coming back, okay.
Who's that? Please don't.
You can bypass him by going through the kitchen, and I'd rather try to actually blackjack him anyway, just to make it a little easier. Now those pieces of wine are quite easy to miss, as is the speed potion over here, which actually counts as a secret. cool sort of addition over here. And there is like a food elevator for delivering the food from the kitchen where the servants work up to the Lord's quarters, but you can actually use it to steal those valuables here, as well as probably that guy's key, but I'm a little worried about trying that. Okay, it did work, which is actually really useful because blackjacking that guy is quite an annoyance to accomplish. Now there are two guards over here, but wait, no. Alright, I just didn't. One of them is patrolling this corridor, and he's quite easy to blackjack. Just have to wait for the opportune moment.
Hello?
There isn't much in the servants' quarters, although there is a piece of flavor text somewhere over here. As you can see, there is some foreshadowing of the changes in the city guard, and about corruption in the guard, and how possibly the guardsmen are now even worse than the thieves of old, which will come up later in the storyline as well. But here thing I prefer to do, if you wonder why I remember this particular level in such great detail, is that I actually played it a little like for practice before, but it didn't do me much good anyway. Like seeing from how I performed in this recording, but what I like to do is grab a crate and throw it over there, which should make the guard want to investigate.
I heard that. Show yourself. I'm not kidding around.
And then, preferably, he'll leave his sort of
Come on, coward. Face me like a man.
enclosure, and then maybe you can you know, catch him with his back turned, and this way letting you blackjack him, which frees this area up for later. I'll just wait for him to pass over here. Because unusually, I think it's probably the only level in which there is such a requirement, but unusually enough, on this level, on expert, you need to score at least 8 knockouts, as opposed to, you know, interacting the least amount possible with the guard. So backtracking him gives you an additional knockout too.
Well, that's her door. Guess Basso can open it. He's not much of a sneak, but he can sure handle a lock.
Yeah, you have to go back for Basso and bring him here to open the gate. I mean the door to the room of the servant that he's in love with. But I prefer to do it at the end of the level because we still need to get the loot and to blackjack the right amount of guards before escaping the mansion. This is a really dark area, as you can see. I can scarcely see anything, but it's actually worth visiting this part because there is some unexpected loot over here in the shape of this gold pebble and this silver one, as well as some bread on a tray, which is weird because it almost seems like someone may be living here, but why would anyone do that? I'm not really certain. Yeah, I need to find my way back. I might as well demonstrate how the flares work. Though now I'll have to wait for it to burn out. Now it's a good thing that I actually pickpocketed the key off of the guard there, because this will allow me to enter through here.
We'll see. What?
Wait, that's...
Ah!
Okay, that was not what I totally forgot about the guard from this side. Now where is my save? This is a good question. Damn it, I didn't even before blackjacking that guy, so I need to do it all over again.
Who goes there? Who made that noise? All right, stop fooling around. Where are you?
Like when you play those other games, you really forget about the how much autosaves
This?
make a game easier, because in those older titles in which all you had were manual saves, you could lose quite a lot of progress by simply forgetting to save in the proper moment. So let me do just that. Okay, I think I need to loot the...
Well, that's her door. I guess Basso can open it.
gold and
He's
silver.
not much of a sneak, but he can sure handle a lock.
Again. And save. Well, I still remember to do that. So actually not open the door for now, but just wait for this guy to turn.
What's over the ball?
And now I can, I think, open the door without further interference to reveal a second guard somewhere over here.
Someone...
Now, despite the size of the mansion, it's actually pretty stingy with loot. So we have to be really, really observant with the, like for example here, this is really easy to miss, especially because it opens as hidden cache over here with quite a lot of loot that is actually, I think, necessary to finish the game on expert, I mean the level. Now this is interesting because they actually labeled the privy as a WC, water closet, which is an awfully sort of modern term for the thing. So I've wondered if it really fits with the universe, but there is a weird blend of magic and technology and fantasy in Thief World anyway. actually the front door I showed you at the beginning of the mission. What would a wedding be without drinks? Yeah, it's actually like pretty heartwarming when you think about it, that when Garrett just randomly finds two rings hidden in the wall, he thinks of them as you know, wedding rings for his friend and his girl. It sort of reinforces the point I've talked about earlier with Garrett not really being you know, that heartless at all. He just sort of likes to pretend he is. Okay, I have to be careful. I think it's actually best to approach that side of the level from the other side. The room I wanted to go into, but well, if I am here, I might as well loot it. Wait, that was also not the door I wanted. This was the door I wanted. Because here, in the beginning of the level, you actually have two sets of doors, and you can go this way, which leads you to the top floor. Actually, there is one guard over here. A little uncertain about the range of their vision.
What's that? Imagining things now. I don't like the looks of that. Ugh.
Used to be birds singing in the morning. Nobody better be taffing around down here.
Oh, that was really close. I'll wait for him to make a turn.
Looks like nothing.
And then try to blackjack him. It's weird. I think it's actually one of the only rooms in the whole mansion in which there is an like a stationary light switch, which you can use for this particular room only. As you can see, we've only just now met the loot requirement, and I think it's probably most of the loot in the mission anyway. So now all that is left to do is to go back for Basso. Because fortunately enough, the lower levels are all cleared of enemies. Need to use the bird call he gave you. Although he might actually be a little deaf, because you have to be really close for him to hear you. So basically he can't sneak, he just runs to the door. So it's better if you provide a clear path for him, because if not, then he will easily attract the proceed. Basso, what are you doing? He will easily attract the guards and get you both killed. But fortunately I've cleaned this area. As you can see, he actually automatically chooses a path to avoid the guard post over here, but I've cleared this guide just in case anyway. Wait, is there someone left? Somebody is talking and I'm not...
Basso!
Shh, come with me.
No, I've actually never taken a look inside. I'm not even certain that I can. Is there anything... There's actually, I think, a special key. Yeah, it's a different kind of key, but I'm not sure for which, for what this key is, because I've basically explored all of the mansion anyway at this point. It doesn't matter, I've fulfilled all my objectives anyway, so I can just exit the mansion now. Wait, no, not here. Again, I've chosen a wrong path. There was actually some loot left, but at least I found all of the secrets. It's cool that it tells you the statistic, because then you can see how much you missed in the mission. But yeah, this was only the first mission and I still did kind of poorly in the beginning. and it's only going to be downhill from downhill from here, because as the game progresses I remember less and less, and I've never played on expert before, so see you in the next one. Bye.